Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Cycle 5858. I am Amish Cycle. Foreign news have been reported by American news channels and the news agents. So please, let's go to the headlines.
Tonight, powerful storms slam the Northeast. Heavy rain, flash flooding, and damaging winds from Philadelphia to New York City up through Boston tonight. Water rescues underway at this hour. A child carried from a flooded car. Cities just outside New York underwater. Rain pouring into New York City subways, trees and power lines crashing down. More than 1,000 flights canceled, thousands more delayed. Lee Goldberg with the forecast. That storm still churning right now, and he has the Halloween forecast as well. Also breaking tonight, Prince Andrew, no longer a prince. The extraordinary announcement from Buckingham Palace late today. King Charles taking action against his younger brother, Prince Andrew, in the wake of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. What the palace is now saying tonight. This evening, the first grade teacher shot by her 6-year-old student, and what she has now revealed about the moments after she was shot. What she said in court today. The government shut down day 30. More than 40 million Americans will lose their food assistance Saturday. Lines already at food banks. And millions of Americans are about to see their health insurance premiums skyrocket. Democrats demanding Republicans address the health care issue for millions. Republicans blaming Democrats for the shutdown. Tonight, President Trump says the U.S. will resume nuclear weapons testing. The U.S. hasn't done this in more than 30 years. The president is pressed, why now? And the U.S. and China and their new agreement for a year involving soybeans to those rare earth minerals used to build smartphones and TVs. The arrest tonight after the overdose death of Robert De Niro's grandson, federal authorities and what they revealed in this case. Alarming images appearing to show a police officer nearly running down a suspect with his cruiser and what they're now saying. A senior citizen cruise ship passenger left behind on an island. The boat left. She was later found dead, and now the investigation. The jet plane making an emergency landing, suddenly losing altitude. We have learned multiple passengers have been injured tonight. And America Strong this evening, the father with a Halloween surprise for his 4-year-old daughter. You have to see this. Sesame Street was so impressed, Cookie Monster showed up. From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is seeing Trump in a crown every day of the day comes from South Korea, where President Trump received a massive gold crown replica from the ancient Silla Kingdom. South Korea's president also awarded Trump the nation's highest honor for his North Korean diplomacy and declared a new golden age for the U.S.-South Korea alliance. It's pretty funny when you think about it. Remember, 8 years ago, the Dems tried to destroy him with lies about a golden shower. Now all they hear about is a golden age. I'll just end it there. Hotep. Pretty funny, huh?
This is hilarious. I feel like, because everybody in the world watches American politics, like we are the pop culture, right? So the South Korean president was sitting there watching his TV last week and like, no kings? Ha ha ha, I know what I'm doing next week. So he's like, hey, cook up one of those crowns when Trump gets here.
Yeah, exactly. They are like the guy that helps you troll somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, I said it on the 5 yesterday. The guy, he's like the guy that gets on a force behind the other guy that you push over. That's what North Korea just did. South Korea just did to the Democrats.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. But I'm here to say that I'm here for Trump to be king. I'm here for a third term. And for one reason only, my portfolio needs it. My stock portfolio needs. I just need 4 more years after 2028, and I will be good.
Yes. Charles, should he wear the crown?
Hell yeah, he should wear it at the State of the Union address. Mr. Speaker! My man comes out with a pinball gun. What's up, man? You gotta have a big Let me tell you right now, if he wears that at the State of the Union, the black vote for the Republicans in the back. Brother's gonna be getting that the crown necklace, everything. 4 years. There are two amendments, the 12th and 22nd. I don't know what they are. He can't be vice president, but he could be something else.
Yeah, that idea that you had where he should be installed as like the Secretary of State or something awesome. I love that idea, but I also sort of want him to be like, our colleague here. How awesome would that be? Him just
hang him out and just have his own show.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think what's fascinating about this, you guys, is that remember when Obama was given the Nobel Peace Prize, and one of the reasons stated there was two, it was for the promise of a new era of diplomacy. But this is the reality of what diplomacy looks like, because this crown symbolizes a $325 billion investment by South Korea in America. Like, we are watching the real deal right now, and that's what that crown symbolizes. But of course, the media is focusing on
Was South Korea trolling, or were they pandering?
I don't think they were trolling, really. I mean,
trolling the Democrat. Never tried. They go, but they weren't. I don't know. Maybe they're just having fun.
Maybe that's what they do. Like when they're like, "Hey, here you go. Here's a crown." Like sometimes how like you go to a birthday party.
Dangerous storms causing air travel chaos, thousands of delays stacking up at airports across the country, flash flooding submerging streets, water pouring into subways. This little girl rescued from a car trapped by the rising waters in New Jersey. Widespread delays caused by the weather and staffing shortages. This just in, what we're learning about the injuries reported on a JetBlue flight. Devastation in the Caribbean, entire streets wiped away by Hurricane Melissa. We'll show you the town where 90% of the roofs are gone, and our team making it to Montego Bay, where thousands of tourists are stranded. Also breaking, Prince no more. King Charles taking away his brother Andrew's prince title and kicking him out of his royal home. The name the former prince will now go by. Clash of the superpowers, President Trump and China's leader face to face. The man President Trump calls a tough negotiator, barely breaking a smile. Did Trump's charm offensive work? Chilling testimony, the teacher shot by her 6-year-old student, telling jurors she thought she was on her way to heaven when she was shot inside the school. The terrifying attempted robbery caught on camera, a little girl rushed into her home as a group of armed suspects chase her. Dangerous pursuit. Did this police officer try to run over a man with a squad car? What the department announced. Our series, The Cost of Denial, how this little girl got her insurance company to cover the surgery she desperately needed. What happened when our reporter started making calls? And with Halloween just hours away, people are stocking up on candy, chocolate, and potatoes? The new trend sprouting up. Nightly News starts right now. This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas. Good evening. I'm Jeff Bennett.
And I'm Amna Nawaz. On the NewsHour tonight, President Trump and Chinese President Xi outline a deal to ease the trade war, but tensions between the two nations remain.
The Caribbean begins the long, arduous road to recovery in the wake of Hurricane Melissa.
And musician Ben Folds talks politics and his decision to resign as an advisor at the Kennedy Center after President Trump's takeover.
I think you should be able to go to a place like the Kennedy Center, sponsored by We the People, and you should be able to see yourself on stage. Major funding for the PBS News app.
Thursday night, one game away, the Toronto Blue Jays on the brink of winning the World Series.
Hollywood couldn't have made it this good.
How the Jays crushed the Dodgers and the excitement building for Game 6. President Trump orders U.S. nuclear tests to resume for the first time in decades. Why, and the potentially dangerous domino effect. A further fall from grace, Prince Andrew stripped of his honors and titles, and what else he's losing. Plus, the resurgence of Canada's songbird.
The last thing I thought I'd find was you.
why Anne Murray's new album wouldn't have been possible without two of her biggest fans. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The Toronto Blue Jays are back on home soil tonight and are just one win away from winning the World Series. It seems that with every game, a new dramatic chapter is added to their underdog story, and last night was no exception. From early home runs to a record-breaking performance from their rookie pitcher, the Jays stunned the Dodgers and their fans in Los Angeles. Jeff Semple has our top story tonight.
Game 5 started with a bang. On the very first pitch, Davis Schneider connected for a solo home run. And perhaps no one was more excited than his dad, who recorded this video from the stands. Oh! Oh no! No way! No way! No! Then, just 2 swings later, it happened again. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit another home run, making Toronto the first team in history to begin a World Series game with back-to-back homers. And the 2 heavy hitters weren't the only ones making history. Enter the Jays' rookie pitcher, Trey Yesavage, making just his 8th major league start. His salary this year, about $57,000 US, pitching against the highest paid player in MLB history, LA's $700 million man, Shohei Ohtani. Yesavage struck him out in dramatic fashion, and he didn't stop there. Over 7 innings, the 22-year-old struck out 12 batters, a new World Series rookie record against the highest-paid lineup with the most MVPs in the league.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. Hollywood couldn't have made it this good. So, just being a part of this, I'm just very blessed.
One person who wasn't surprised, Yesavage's former pitching coach.
I think there's something to his makeup that is hard to teach.
John Bernasoni started coaching Yesavage at age 15. Besides his height and unique pitching style, Bernasoni also points to his poise.
There's been a
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Sudan's government says the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group has killed at least 2,000 people in the 3 days since it seized control of the city of Al Fashir in North Darfur. This comes as the World Health Organization says it's appalled by reports that 460 patients and their companions were slaughtered at the Saudi maternity hospital in Al Fashir. On Wednesday, UN refugee agency official Jacqueline Wilma Parleviet said tens of thousands of displaced people have been arriving at Tawila, a refuge for civilians fleeing the violence. They described widespread ethnically and politically motivated killings and indiscriminate attacks, particularly affecting the most vulnerable.
We have accounts of people with disabilities who were executed, who were killed as they were unable to flee. But we also hear people that are trying to leave the city and manage to get out of the city, but on the way they're caught up and they are also being shot.
In Gaza, Israel's military launched several airstrikes on the southern city of Khan Yunis this morning, even after it announced a resumption of the ceasefire. The bombings followed a wave of Israeli attacks a day earlier that killed at least 104 civilians, including 40.
The Windsor, formerly known as Prince. Andrew was stripped of his royal titles over his alleged part in the Epstein scandal.
We are now beginning day 30 of the
Also tonight, 1 month into the government shutdown, and the only end in sight is for federal food assistance. Millions of Americans are about to lose it as the money runs out. House Republicans are missing in action. Hi in America, breathing new life into struggling cemeteries.
5 years always really alive.
He is one of a kind in all the best ways.
And Bat Boy Forever, how his jersey wound up in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I was like, I'm actually speechless.
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News. Good evening, I'm Maurice Dupont.
John Dickerson is on assignment. It just keeps getting worse for Andrew. Can't call him Prince Andrew anymore. His big brother, the King, stripped him of his titles today, which also included Earl of Inverness and Knight of the Order of the Garter. MTS tie-up now on a bad day for a former knight. MTS. Thank you.
Maurice, well, tonight the palace has said that while Andrew continues to deny any wrongdoing, its thoughts are with survivors of abuse. But the message is clear. King Charles is drawing the line between the family he leads and the institution he must protect.
Watching Sky News, I'm Nick Creation. Here are the headlines at 4. Prince Andrew to leave his Windsor home as the King begins the process of removing all his titles. More casualties expected, a warning from Jamaican officials in the wake of Hurricane Melissa as a massive aid operation begins. Rachel Reeves, rental row. The Chancellor's estate agent apologises for an oversight in failing to apply for a licence on their behalf. President Trump hails an amazing meeting with his Chinese counterpart as a 12 out of 10 with a promise of a cut in tariffs. And a little later this hour we'll have a full run through of this morning's front pages. Hi, morning. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. He was once a global ambassador for Britain and a decorated war hero, but Andrew's fall from grace appears complete. Buckingham Palace has announced the King has decided to strip his brother of his prince title, and he'll have to move out of his home at Royal Lodge in Windsor following ongoing scrutiny over sexual abuse allegations and his relationship with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The family of Andrew's maid accuser Virginia Giuffre said she had brought down a British prince with her truth and extraordinary courage. Andrew denies any wrongdoing. Here's our royal correspondent, Laura Dundalk.
His fall from grace is finally complete, stripped of everything, from his titles to his home. This is a remarkable and radical moment for the royal family. As of now, the brother of the King, no longer a prince. In a statement, Buckingham Palace announced His Majesty has today initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles and honours of Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew will now be known.
Thank you for watching Amish Shakil 5858. I am Amish Shakil. I hope you will visit again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.